Hey everyone, have you ever dug through your pocket change, hoping to find something special, only to come up with a bunch of nickels and pennies that are worth, well, not much? But imagine this: you pull out a 1981 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and boom, it's worth $1.2 million. I know, it sounds too good to be true, but I promise you, this penny isn't your average coin. Stick around, because today, we're diving into the world of the 1981 no mint mark penny, the hidden gem that's got coin collectors buzzing. Alright, so let's get into the juicy details. First off, let's talk about what makes the 1981 no mint mark penny so special. You're probably wondering, why is a coin from 1981 worth so much when we're talking about a penny that barely gets you anything at the vending machine? Well, here's the deal: the 1981 no mint mark penny is one of those rare anomalies that collectors love to hunt for. You see, most of the pennies produced in 1981 have a mint mark, the little D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But the 1981 no mint mark penny doesn't have one. It's like a secret member of the coin family that was overlooked by many until collectors realized it's a bit of an oddity, and in the world of coin collecting, oddities can mean big bucks. And now, here's where the story gets even crazier. Why is this penny worth so much? It's because there were a few pennies minted without a mint mark, possibly due to a mistake during the production process. Only a limited number were released into circulation, making them highly sought after by collectors who love rare, quirky coins. To add to the intrigue, coins without mint marks from this era are extremely rare. Finding one in good condition is like striking gold, or at least, finding a $5 bill in the washer. You might be thinking, okay, but how do I know if I've got one of these 1981 no mint mark pennies worth $1.2 million? Great question. Here's the secret sauce: you'll want to look closely at the penny. If it's a 1981 and doesn't have a mint mark, nothing after the year 1981, congratulations, you've got yourself a potential treasure. But hold up, that's not all. The condition of the penny plays a massive role in how much it's worth. Coins are graded based on their condition, ranging from good to mint state. So, if you find one that looks almost perfect, well, it's time to break out the magnifying glass and prepare for a possible payday. The 1981 no mint mark penny in mint condition, with sharp details and no visible wear, could fetch up to $1.2 million at auction. That's not pocket change anymore, that's a serious chunk of change. Here's a little personal story for you. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, just killing time and looking through boxes of random stuff. I spotted a jar of coins, and of course, I had to take a look. I'm no expert, but I know enough to spot an interesting coin. Turns out, I found a few pennies that caught my eye, and one of them was a 1981 penny, with no mint mark. I held on to it for a while, thinking, this might be it. My moment. But unfortunately, after a closer inspection, it wasn't in good enough condition to be worth a fortune. But that experience taught me something important: sometimes, the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight. So always keep an eye out for those coins that stand out, even if it's just the 1981 no mint mark penny. Now, I know you're probably running to your coin jar to check if you have one of these hidden treasures, but remember, not every 1981 penny is going to be worth $1.2 million. It takes the perfect combination of rarity and condition. But here's the thing: this is just one example of many valuable coins that could be lurking in your change drawer or family heirlooms. So, before you toss that old jar of coins in the back of the closet, take a moment to see if you've got something that could make you a coin collector's hero. If you enjoyed learning about this mind-blowing 1981 no mint mark penny, trust me, there's a whole world of rare, valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. And guess what? I've got tons more tips and tricks to help you identify these gems, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a future episode. We've got a ton of awesome coin stories coming your way, and I don't want you to miss out on your next $1 million discovery. Hey, what's up, everyone? Ever wonder if that penny you just found in your couch cushions could be worth more than the change in your wallet? Well, grab the dusty old penny, because today, we're talking about the 2002 D Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, it could be worth a lot more than you think. In fact, some of these pennies are selling for upwards of $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, million. That's not a typo. Now, before you start checking your pockets and your piggy bank, let's dive into what makes the 2002 D penny so special. The 2002 D penny is not one of those rare, mystical coins that only come up once in a blue moon. It's the one that people often overlook, thinking it's just another run-of-the-mill penny. But here's the kicker, it's not just any penny. This little coin has some very specific traits that set it apart. And once you know what to look for, you might just have a small fortune hiding in plain sight. So what makes it so valuable? Well, it's got a little something called an error, and no, it's not just that tiny scratch you got when you tossed it in your pocket with your keys. We're talking about a serious, minting error that gives this penny a much higher market value. You see, in 2002, the mint produced a number of pennies with slight yet significant flaws, like double die errors and misstruck coins. These errors make the coin a lot rarer and much more desirable to collectors. And guess what? That's what drives up the value. But here's the twist, most of these errors are small. We're talking microscopic differences. So while you might find a standard 2002D penny for face value, if you've got one with a minting flaw, it could be worth millions. I know it sounds crazy, but there have been documented sales of 2002D pennies with errors that went for a whopping $1.3 million. It's like finding a golden ticket, except the golden ticket is, well, a penny. You're probably wondering, why is this penny worth more than my car? What's the deal? Well, let me tell you, it's all about rarity, and this little guy is rarer than you'd think. Imagine you're at a garage sale, and you find an old, dusty lamp. At first, it looks like every other lamp, but then you realize it's not just any lamp, it's a rare antique from the 1800s. You're not just buying a lamp, you're buying a piece of history. That's how collectors view these error pennies. They might look like normal pennies at first glance, but one tiny mistake can make them a valuable piece of history. Now, let me give you a quick personal story here. Back when I was younger, I used to collect coins because I thought I'd become the next coin mogul. My grandma gave me a jar of old pennies she'd saved over the years, and I was so excited. I spent hours going through them, convinced I'd find a rare one worth hundreds of dollars. Turns out, I just found a lot of 99 Lincoln pennies. Bummer. But imagine how it would have felt if I had found one of these 2002D error pennies. I'd probably be retired by now. So, how do you find these million-dollar pennies? Well, it's not exactly easy. You've got to be looking for the errors, and most of the time, that means you've got to really inspect them under magnification. We're talking about doubling, misprints, or even mismatches between the obverse and reverse sides of the coin. It's all in the details, folks. If you're serious about checking for these rare pennies, grab a magnifying glass and start searching through your stash of 2002D pennies. You never know, you might just find a hidden gem. Before you go rushing to check your piggy bank for any 2002D coins, hit that subscribe button. I'm always diving into more valuable coins, and you don't want to miss out on future tips that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Trust me, the next diamond in the rough could be sitting in your drawer right now. Let's keep this coin hunt going, and remember, the more you know, the more valuable your collection could become. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Have you ever pulled out a penny from your pocket and thought, could this little guy be worth millions? Well, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny. But hold on, because today we're diving into the wild world of rare coins, and there's one in particular, a 2005 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yep, you heard that right. A penny. Stick around, you won't believe the story behind this coin. Alright, let's break this down. You've probably got a ton of pennies lying around in your house, right? We all do. Some of us even have those old pennies that are so dirty, you wonder if they've been through a few lifetimes. But here's the thing, the 2005 penny, the one without a mint mark, could be sitting right there in your coin jar, and you'd have no idea it's worth more than your car now. Most of the time, pennies are, well, just pennies. They're practically the same as pocket lint when it comes to value. But every now and then, a strange anomaly pops up in the coin world, like the 2005 no-mint mark penny. In 2005, the US Mint accidentally released some pennies without the mint mark, which normally indicates where the coin was made. The mint mark is usually placed under the date to let you know if it came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in this case, it was missing, which led to one of the most bizarre and valuable coin mistakes in history. And now, you might be asking, what makes this so special? Is it just a printing error? Well, sort of. The lack of a mint mark made this penny a rare mistake. You see, most people didn't even realize what they had when it first came out. The value wasn't obvious to collectors right away, and that's often how some of these coins end up being worth more than you can imagine. But over time, savvy collectors started realizing that this was one rare find. It wasn't long before the coin was discovered to be extremely rare, with only a few known to exist. Some of these pennies have sold for upwards of $1.4 million, yes, one penny for over $1 million. Insane, right? Here's where it gets funny. I actually remember a time when I came across a coin that I thought was rare. It wasn't quite $1 million find, but it definitely made me feel like I'd struck gold. I found an old nickel in my couch cushions, because let's face it, that's where all the best finds are. I thought, this could be the one. This could be my ticket to fame and fortune. Well, turns out it was just a regular nickel, but it was a fun few minutes imagining I was the next coin millionaire. So, moral of the story, always check your spare change. You never know what's lurking in there. Now, why exactly is this 2005 no mint mark penny so valuable? Well, rarity plays a huge part. The US Mint didn't intentionally produce these unmarked coins, so the number of them in circulation is incredibly small. In fact, only a handful are known to exist, and that makes them highly sought after by collectors. But here's the kicker, it's not just about being rare. The condition of the coin also matters a lot. A coin in mint condition, with no wear and tear, is worth more than one that looks like it's been through a war. A coin's condition is graded on a scale, and the higher the grade, the more valuable it is. So, if you've got a 2005 no mint mark penny in perfect condition, you might just have a lottery ticket sitting in your pocket. And here's a fun fact to impress your friends: did you know that the US Mint typically makes millions of pennies every year? Yet, only a few thousand of them are actually worth a fortune? It's like the US Mint is secretly making treasure, and we just have to hope we find it before someone else does. Alright, folks, the bottom line is this: if you come across a 2005 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, check it out closely. It might just be worth a small fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking: how do I even know if my pennies are valuable? Great question. The best thing you can do is educate yourself on rare coins and start looking through your change. Who knows? Maybe that random penny you thought was worthless is your ticket to early retirement. And hey, if you want more tips on coins worth money, rare finds, and strategies for building your own collection, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on the next big coin discovery that could make you a millionaire. Plus, I promise I'll keep it fun and lighthearted so you won't fall asleep during the coin talk. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Let me hit you with a quick question. Have you ever dug through your spare change, hoping to find a penny that's worth more than your morning coffee? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving into one that might just blow your mind. Picture this: a penny, small, shiny, and seemingly worth a whole lot less than the quarter you just tossed in your pocket. But wait, this penny isn't just any penny. It's the 1949 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and its value? A whopping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that costs less than a cup of coffee could be worth a fortune. How cool is that? Stick around, because I'm about to tell you all about this ultra-rare penny, why it's worth so much, and how to spot one if you're lucky enough to have it lying around somewhere. Let's get started. Now, let's break it down. The 1949 Lincoln penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which means it has no mint mark, just like the regular pennies you'd find in your pocket. But here's the kicker: not all 1949 pennies are worth a small fortune. Only a very small percentage of these coins are in perfect condition or have a special variety that makes them worth a ton of money. So, what makes this penny so special? Well, the coin's value is tied to something called grade. This refers to the condition of the coin, whether it's in excellent, mint-like shape, or if it's been through the ringer. Most 1949 pennies are, well, pretty worn out, so they're only worth a few cents. But there are some in near-perfect condition that can fetch huge amounts, even up to $1.50 million. I know. You're probably thinking, well, I've definitely got a 1949 penny in my collection somewhere, but how do I know if it's worth anything? Great question, my friend. Here's what you need to look for. As I mentioned, a perfect, shiny 1949 penny with no wear is rare and valuable. These are known as MS-67 or higher, which means the coin is practically flawless. They shine bright like a diamond, and collectors will pay big bucks for them. A 1949 penny in its prime will have a rich copper color. If you find one that looks like it was used as a golf tee, it's not going to be worth as much. Even if the coin is in excellent shape, finding the right buyer is key. There are collectors out there who are willing to pay a premium for these coins, but there are also a lot of them out there that are just sitting in circulation, alright? So here's a little relatable story for you. When I was younger, I thought I hit the jackpot when I found a penny from 1909. I was so excited, imagining it was worth hundreds of dollars. I showed it to my mom, and she was like, "Oh, that's nice, honey, but no. It's not worth anything." Long story short, it was just a regular old penny, and I learned a valuable lesson: don't get your hopes up too much, but also always check your coins, because you never know when you'll come across a real gem. So, there you have it, the 1949 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be worth $1.5 million if you happen to find one in perfect condition. It's an absolute treasure for collectors, and if you're lucky enough to own one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But hey, don't stop here. Keep hunting through those old coin jars, check your pocket change, and who knows, you might just find a hidden gem yourself. And if you want to keep learning about rare coins, tips on how to find them, and other valuable coin strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I've got more awesome tips coming your way. Hey there, fellow coin lovers. So, have you ever checked your pockets, looking for loose change, and thought, maybe there's a gold mine in here? Well, if you happen to have a 1995 D Lincoln penny, you might just be holding a ticket to a seriously lucrative treasure chest. No, I'm not kidding. You could be sitting on a coin worth up to $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.60 million. I can see the wheels turning now. Is it time to go hunting through my couch cushions? Keep watching, because I'll explain why this penny is worth so much, how to spot one, and maybe even how you could cash in. Alright, let's break it down. The 1995 D Lincoln penny is, in fact, one of those coins that's way more valuable than you'd expect from your average pocket change. So, why is this particular penny worth so much? First off, it's all about rarity. We're not talking about just any old penny. This one has a unique feature, a double die error. In layman's terms, this means that the coin was stamped twice, creating a slight overlap in the design. The result? A penny with some noticeable double vision on the lettering and numbers. This error makes it super rare and super valuable to collectors. Think of it like when you've accidentally hit undo on a text and sent it twice, except, instead of looking silly, you've got a rare piece of history worth a small fortune now. Let me tell you, finding one of these babies is like trying to spot a unicorn in a field of horses. You can't just casually pull a 1995 D double die from your pocket without a little luck and some good eye training. So, how do you spot this gem? Well, here's the key: you need to be looking closely at the lettering and the numbers on the obverse, that's the head side, of the penny. If you see that doubled effect, then congrats. You might just have a winner on your hands. Now, I know what you're thinking. But wait, how can I tell if my penny is worth $1 million, or if it's just a regular coin I'll toss in the jar to go spend at the store? Great question. You can't always tell just by looking at the penny under your regular kitchen light. You'll need to get the coin under some better lighting and perhaps use a magnifying glass to inspect the details closely. And if you find that sweet double die error, you'll want to have it graded by a professional to confirm its authenticity and get a proper value. And trust me, you don't want to sell that penny at a yard sale, thinking it's worth a quarter. The last time someone tried that, they probably regretted it when they found out it could have paid for their kids' college tuition. Speaking of which, this kind of reminds me of my own coin discovery moment. A few years ago, I was rooting around in my grandma's old coin jar, just doing what anyone would do, mindlessly searching for spare change. I found a shiny penny from the 70s, thought it looked cool, and tossed it aside. Fast forward a few weeks, and I discovered that it was a rare, uncirculated penny worth hundreds of dollars. I could have kicked myself. So, the lesson here? Always double check your pennies, and if you're thinking, well, I don't have a 1995 D penny, should I be looking at other coins? The answer is yes, absolutely. Keep an eye on your change, because there are other valuable coins out there hiding in plain sight. You just have to know what to look for. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1995 D Lincoln penny. If you've got one, or if you're inspired to go treasure hunting through your change jar, good luck. Who knows, maybe you'll walk away with your own little piece of coin history worth a small fortune. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and, most importantly, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on more tips, tricks, and treasure hunting strategies for finding coins worth big money. I'll keep digging around, and I'll bring all the latest coin secrets straight to you. Remember, the next time you're sitting around with a handful of change, take a moment to inspect it. You never know, you could be sitting on a gold mine or at least a couple $100. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep those pennies close, and your eyes even closer. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. You ever had one of those days where you're just looking through a bunch of pennies, thinking, what could these possibly be worth? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 1951 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, you might want to double-check your coin jar because this little guy could be worth a whopping $1.7 million. Yep, you heard me right, million, so grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into what makes this penny so valuable, why it's worth so much, and maybe, just maybe, you've got one of these bad boys sitting around at home right now. Let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the 1951 penny itself. It's not one of those coins you'd typically spot and think, wow, this could be worth a fortune. It's a classic Lincoln wheat penny, which by itself doesn't scream high dollar value. But here's the kicker, the 1951 penny without a mint mark is where things get exciting. Now, here's the deal. Most coins have a mint mark on them, telling you where they were made, either Philly, that's Philadelphia, for those not in the coin know, Denver, or San Francisco. But the 1951 no mint mark penny? It doesn't have one, and that's what makes it special. The thing is, most people don't even know this coin exists, or they mistake it for a regular OL 1951 penny with a mint mark. But the no mint mark version is rarer, and that rarity is what boosts its value big time. Why is it rare? Well, in 1951, the US Mint didn't make many of these no mint mark pennies, so if you happen to find one, congratulations. You've stumbled upon something truly unique. And that's why, in mint condition, a 1951 no mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch around $1.7 million. No kidding, let me tell you, I once had a similar experience with a coin, except, well, it wasn't a $1.7 million penny. It was actually a 2002 penny I thought was super rare because it had this weird greenish color. Turns out, it was just a penny that spent too much time in my car cup holder next to a pack of gum. I mean, who knew that gum could cause a penny to look so vintage? Anyway, back to the real stuff now. Let's talk about how to spot a 1951 no mint mark penny. You're going to want to look closely at the date and make sure there's no mint mark under the date. If there's no letter, that's a good sign. Next, check the condition. Obviously, the better the condition, the more valuable it is. A coin that's been worn down to the point where Lincoln looks like he's been through the ringer isn't going to fetch anywhere near $1.7 million. But, if you've got one that's shiny and clean, you've got something special, and hey, I get it. Coin collecting can feel a bit overwhelming. You're probably thinking, okay, but how do I know if my 1951 penny is actually worth $1 million, or if it's just another one of those 1951 pennies that no one cares about? The answer is simple, get it appraised. There are tons of coin experts out there who can give you an accurate valuation. So, in conclusion, if you happen to find yourself with a 1951 no mint mark penny, don't just toss it in your pocket like I did with that poor, gum-infested 2002 penny. Take a closer look. It could be worth up to $1.7 million, and that's not something you want to miss out on. Just think about what you could do with that kind of cash, vacation, new gadgets, or maybe even add a few more rare coins to your collection. Who knows? Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one thing. Coin collecting isn't just about finding rare coins, it's about having fun, learning new things, and maybe making a little extra money along the way. If you love discovering hidden treasures like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and strategies on finding coins worth money. I'm constantly diving into new valuable coins, and I don't want you to miss out on any of them. So, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that turned out to be worth a lot more than you thought. Let's hear your stories. Hey there, coin lovers! Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, it's just a penny, and tossed it aside? Well, I used to do that too. But let me tell you, there are pennies out there that could be worth a small fortune. One of them is the 2007 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard that right, a penny that could be worth up to $1.8 million. No, that's not a typo. So, before you toss the change in your jar, stick around, because today, we're talking about how this seemingly ordinary penny is anything but. Alright, let's break it down. The 2007 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't just your run-of-the-mill copper coin. It was struck during the year we celebrated the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, which makes it extra special. So, what makes this coin stand out? Well, it's all about a rare misprint and its historical significance. A lot of these pennies went unnoticed and ended up being spent like any other regular penny. But some lucky folks discovered these little gems, and today, they're worth around $1.8 million. Yeah, I know, I can barely believe it too, but how does a penny get to that price? Well, the magic happens when we talk about coin collectors and errors. Coin collectors are a unique bunch, and when they spot something rare, they're willing to pay big bucks for it. In the case of the 2007 D Lincoln penny, it's got a unique characteristic that sets it apart from other pennies in circulation. A minting error, often called a die crack, can make this penny extremely valuable. And if you're lucky enough to find one of those rare versions, boom, you're holding onto $1 million coin. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was going through my spare change, just doing what I do, when I stumbled across a penny that looked a little different. I checked it out, and nothing. Just an old penny with some weird marks. But hey, it looked a bit unusual, so I hung on to it. Fast forward to a coin show, and I ran into a collector who instantly recognized the markings as a sign of a mint error. Sadly, my penny wasn't worth a fortune, but I couldn't help but laugh at how close I was to having a rare find. Lesson learned: people never overlook a penny, so if you're lucky enough to find a 2007 D Lincoln penny with a noticeable error, don't just toss it into your spare change jar like I did. It might be worth way more than you think. The price can vary based on the condition, rarity of the error, and how well it has been preserved over the years. And now, let's get to the fun part. How do you spot a penny that's worth $1.8 million? You're looking for something unique. First, check the date. It's gotta be from 2007, and it has to have the D-Mint mark. Then, look for any unusual imperfections. If there's a visible die crack or another error, you might just have something that's going to make your wallet a lot heavier. So, next time you're cleaning out your pockets or going through your change jar, don't just pass over those pennies. That seemingly insignificant little coin could be the key to a small fortune. And hey, if you're not sure about the value of a coin, you can always hit up your local coin expert. Or, better yet, stick around here for more tips and tricks on how to spot coins worth big money. If you're enjoying this content and want to stay up to date on the latest coin news, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on finding your next hidden treasure. Trust me, you won't regret it. We're diving into the 2009 Lincoln penny. It's not just any penny, it's got historical flair, a touch of controversy, and it might just make you a millionaire. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. How many pennies have you carelessly tossed into a jar or lost in your couch? I used to do that too until I found out some of them could pay for a house. Now, I'm practically diving into furniture like Indiana Jones on a treasure hunt. Stick around, and I'll tell you what to look for. Let's start with what makes the 2009 Lincoln penny so special. First off, this penny celebrated Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. To honor Honest Abe, the U.S. Mint released 4 unique designs showcasing different stages of his life: a humble log cabin. It's like Lincoln's version of Started from the Bottom. Young Abe reading a book while taking a break from chores. Can't you just hear him thinking, one day, people will fight over my face on a coin? A dashing Abe standing in front of the Illinois Capitol. It screams, future president right here. Lincoln hard at work, likely thinking, is this penny thing going to be a big deal in 2009? Now, here's the kicker: some of these pennies, especially those minted in Denver, with a D-Mint mark, have become incredibly valuable. Why? Errors, rarity, and a dash of coin collecting magic. Some 2009 pennies with unique errors, like doubled dies or striking flaws, have sold for $850 or more. And if you've got a near-perfect specimen graded by PCGS or NGC, its value can skyrocket to over $1.80 million. Here's a quick personal story. I once found a 2009 Lincoln penny in my car's cup holder. At first, I thought, cool, a penny for the gumball machine. But then I noticed it looked a little different. I checked it out online and boom, it was one of the special designs. Turns out, it wasn't worth a fortune, but the experience taught me never to underestimate the power of pocket change. So, how can you spot a valuable 2009 Lincoln penny? Look for the D4 Denver. Is it one of the 4 special designs? Doubling, off-center strikes, or weird markings can mean big bucks. A shiny, uncirculated penny is worth more than one that's seen better days. Alright, so what's the moral of the story? Next time you see a penny, don't just toss it aside, give it a second look. That little coin could be the jackpot you didn't know you were sitting on. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin tips and stories coming your way. Who knows? Your next penny find might just fund your dream vacation, or at least a really nice dinner. Hey there, fellow coin lovers. You might have a penny sitting in your change jar right now that's worth more than you think, like this 1986 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yeah, you heard me right, this little copper disc could be worth a whopping $1.1 million. I know, it sounds like a punchline to a coin collector joke, but trust me, it's as real as Lincoln's top hat. Stick around to learn all about this elusive penny and why it's causing some serious buzz in the numismatic world. And who knows, you might just discover you've got a goldmine in your pocket. So let's talk about this penny. The 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. In fact, it's one of those rare finds that makes collectors go gaga over pennies. Yes, pennies. You might think, it's just a penny, what's the big deal? But here's the catch, this coin is incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors because, well, it was never supposed to exist. How, you ask? Well, normally, pennies minted in 1986 had a D or S mint mark. But some sneaky, mysterious coins slipped through the cracks without any mint mark at all, and that's where the treasure hunt begins. These missing mint mark pennies have a unique error, and when it comes to rare coins, rarity equals value. Now, you might be wondering, why does a small mistake make it worth $1.1 million? Great question. It's simple, there are only a few of these elusive pennies out there. Coin collectors are always looking for something that stands out, something that makes their collection unique, and this coin does exactly that. It's like finding a 4-leaf clover in a field of 3-leaf ones, so, naturally, people are willing to pay big bucks to add it to their collection. Let me tell you a quick story about my own experience with rare coins. I once found an old coin in a box of random change, and I swear it felt like I hit the jackpot. After some research, and a little help from Google, of course, I realized it was worth way more than I initially thought. Sadly, it wasn't $1.1 million, but I still felt pretty good about the find. And that's what coin hunting is all about, the thrill of discovery. But back to our 1986 penny. These bad boys can go for millions, but finding one isn't easy. They don't just pop up in every pocket change you get. Most of these coins were quickly snatched up by collectors or were lost to time. So, if you happen to have one of these rarities sitting around, you could be holding a treasure worth more than your monthly rent or even your mortgage. And here's something fun, it's not just about the money. The story behind these coins, the hunt for them, and the excitement of finding them are all part of the fun. It's like being Indiana Jones, but instead of chasing ancient artifacts, you're hunting for pennies. So, if you've got a 1986 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny sitting in your drawer, dust it off and take a closer look. It could be worth a small fortune, and if it is, congratulations, you just found a ticket to a coin collector's dream. And even if you don't have one, don't worry, there are plenty of other rare coins out there waiting to be discovered. Before you go off on your coin hunting adventure, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips, tricks, and strategies on coins that could make you a serious profit. You'll get the inside scoop on which coins to look out for, how to spot the real winners, and maybe even a few more stories about my own coin hunting mishaps. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters! What if I told you that a coin, smaller than your pinky nail, could be worth more than your car? No, I'm not talking about some ancient gold piece you found buried in your backyard. I'm talking about a humble 1988 D-mint Mark Lincoln penny, valued at a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Sounds wild, right? But trust me, it's true. So, grab your magnifying glass and your favorite snack, because today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare pennies and how a 1988 D could be your ticket to the big league. Alright, let's set the scene. You're at a yard sale, sifting through a jar of loose change like it's a pile of uncut diamonds. You're just looking for a few cents to add to your collection, maybe some silver dimes or old nickels. Then, out of nowhere, you spot a 1988 D mint mark penny. You think, meh, it's just another penny. What's so special about this one? Well, let me tell you, this particular penny could be hiding a big secret. The 1988 D Lincoln penny, if it's in mint condition, has been known to fetch a pretty penny, about $1.2 million to be exact. Crazy, right? But before you run off to check your piggy bank or the change jar in your kitchen drawer, let's break down what makes this penny so valuable. First off, condition is key. Just like any collectible, the better the condition, the more valuable it is. So, if your 1988 D penny has seen better days, let's say it's got scratches, discoloration, or it looks like it's been through a few car washes, then unfortunately, you're not sitting on a gold mine. A penny that's in mint condition, with sharp features, no wear, and that shiny copper glow, is what the collectors are after. And now, here's the catch, it's not just about the coin's condition, but rarity too. The 1988 D Lincoln penny was minted in fairly high numbers. But here's the thing, a small number of these pennies were struck incorrectly, which is exactly why they're worth so much. These errors can range from off-center strikes to misaligned designs, and they make the coin super rare. Coin collectors love these types of errors because they're so hard to find. Let me give you a little personal story to bring it all together. A couple of years ago, I was at a local coin shop, just browsing around. Nothing big. I was looking for a nice coin to add to my collection when I saw a jar full of pennies. As I was digging through, I came across a 1988 D. No big deal, right? I nearly tossed it back in, but something made me take a closer look. I'm not saying it was magic, but when I inspected it under the light, I could swear it was in pristine condition. No scratches, no marks. Just shiny, perfect. I didn't think much of it, but I held on to it for a while. Fast forward a few weeks, I did a little research, a lot of research, and found out that a penny like mine, perfect, with no wear and tear, could be worth a small fortune. I wasn't holding a $1.2 million penny, but I was amazed at how this tiny, everyday coin could go from pocket change to something that could pay off a nice vacation, or maybe a new car. So, moral of the story, never underestimate a penny, my friend. Alright, enough about my almost rich moment. Let's talk how to spot these pennies if you're on the hunt for your own rare find. You'll want to look for a few key things. Make sure the portrait of Abraham Lincoln is clear. Anywhere here can affect the value. A penny that's turning green or black from oxidation is not going to be your $1 million coin. A nice, vibrant copper hue is what you're after. Off-center strikes, double strikes, or other misprints can dramatically increase the value. This is what makes the 1988 D so special. If you find one of these errors, but wait, I know what you're thinking, is this really real? Can a penny this recent be worth so much? Well, just like how vintage baseball cards or old toys can skyrocket in price, the world of coin collecting has its own set of rules, and sometimes, the newer stuff, if it's rare or misprinted, can be just as valuable as the old-timers. Trust me, this isn't a joke. There are people out there willing to pay a pretty penny for a perfect 1988 D, so, what's the takeaway here? Keep an eye out for rare pennies. Whether you're digging through your change jar or browsing a yard sale, that seemingly ordinary 1988 D penny could be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for you to discover its true worth. If you're like me, you love finding treasures in the most unexpected places. And who knows, your next trip to the grocery store could land you with a coin that could change your life. So, keep your eyes peeled, check your pockets, and stay tuned for more tips on how to spot valuable coins. And hey, if you want to learn more about coins that could be worth a fortune, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next coin that could make you rich without having to sell your soul to the devil. So, keep collecting, keep hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey there, coin lovers. Imagine you're walking down the street, minding your own business, and you spot a penny on the ground. You almost don't even bother picking it up, right? I mean, it's just a penny. But what if I told you that a penny you might overlook could actually be worth a staggering $1.3 million? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true, and today, we're talking about the 1982 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, one of the most valuable coins out there. So, buckle up and get ready for a journey through coin history, some fun facts, and maybe even a little bit of wow, because this penny isn't just some shiny piece of copper, it's worth more than most people's cars. Now, let's break down why this little coin is worth more than your morning coffee. The 1982 no-mint Mark penny is rare, and like most rare coins, it's all about the details. You see, the mint mark, that little D or S on the penny, typically tells you where it was produced. Most pennies have a mint mark, but in 1982, a few pennies slipped through the cracks without one. That's where the magic happens. These no mint mark coins are incredibly scarce, and that rarity makes them worth big bucks today. Here's where it gets even more interesting. In 1982, the US Mint switched up its materials and production process for pennies. They moved from copper to a zinc-based penny to save some cash, but not every penny made the switch properly. Some of those copper planchets, the thin metal discs the coins are made from, got mixed up in the production process. These errors make some of the 1982 pennies a collector's dream. Now, let's talk about the condition of these coins. A penny that's been through the ringer, scratched up and worn out, probably isn't worth much more than its face value. But a perfectly preserved, shiny 1982 no-mint mark penny? That's the stuff dreams and big paydays are made of. In mint condition, some of these pennies can sell for anywhere around $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth more than a fancy dinner at a 5-star restaurant. Here's a quick story for you. A few years back, I was at a coin show, and this guy walked up to me with an old penny in his hand, asking if I thought it was worth anything. Now, I wasn't expecting much. After all, most old pennies aren't worth more than a few cents. But as soon as I saw it, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was a 1982 no-mint mark penny. I had to stop myself from freaking out, but I managed to say, well, you might want to get that checked out by an expert. Long story short, he had no idea how much it was worth. Safe to say, he made a nice little chunk of change after that encounter, so, there you have it. That little penny you might find on the sidewalk could be the jackpot you didn't know you were looking for. If you have a 1982 no-mint mark penny, or even a hunch that you might, it's worth checking it out. You never know if you're holding a coin that could make you a millionaire. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button. And hey, if you want more coin tips, stories, and insider info, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next episode where we uncover more coins worth money that could change your life. Hey there, coin lovers! Did you know that a single penny can be worth a small fortune? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true, especially if you have a 1996 D Lincoln penny in your pocket. Stick around because this little coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yep, you heard that right. A penny worth more than most cars. If you're thinking, no way, it's just a penny, then let's dive in and prove it to you. You're going to want to check your change after this. So, what's the deal with this 1996 D penny? Why is it worth so much? Well, the 1996 D penny isn't your run-of-the-mill coin. This penny's rare, and it's worth far more than just its face value. The key reason it's valued so highly is its mintage error, those oops moments that make certain coins super valuable. In this case, it has a unique feature that's pretty rare in a lot of circulated coins. But first, let's take a step back. In 1996, the US Mint stamped out millions of pennies. But for some reason, a small batch of 1996 D pennies were struck with a slightly off die, causing them to have a unique characteristic. This rare error means they're harder to find, and they fetch a nice price at auctions and among collectors. We're talking about a $1.4 million price tag for a single penny. Imagine that, just a penny, and it could help you pay off that student loan, buy a house, or finally treat yourself to that fancy coffee machine you've been eyeing. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if my penny is worth this kind of money? Well, you'll need to inspect it carefully. Look for the mint mark. You're specifically searching for the D mint mark, which means it was minted in Denver. Next, check the overall condition of the penny. Was it kept in a drawer or thrown into a jar with a bunch of loose change? The more well-preserved the penny, the higher its value. A penny that's in mint condition is going to bring in a pretty penny, pun intended. Here's a little story to make things a bit more relatable. Back in the day, I used to toss all my change into a jar like everyone else. I wasn't thinking about what might be in there, I just figured, hey, it's just change. But one day, I found a 1943 copper penny worth a couple $1,000 if it was in good condition, and I thought, why didn't I check this stuff sooner? Now, I'm obsessed with checking every coin I come across. You never know, right? Your next coffee could be on that rare penny sitting in your wallet, so, the next time you're going through your change, make sure to give those pennies a second look. A 1996 D Lincoln penny could be sitting right under your nose, ready to make you a fortune. And let me tell you, that $1.4 million isn't going to just fall into your lap if you don't know what to look for. Before you rush off to inspect your coins, subscribe to this channel. I'll be back with more tips on rare coins, what to look for, and how to make your coin collection a real goldmine. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. So, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep making those pennies work for us. Hey, guys. So, let's get straight to it. You ever find an old coin lying around in your couch cushions or buried deep in your junk drawer and think, what if this thing's worth millions? Well, brace yourself, because today we're diving into a coin that could just make you rich if you're lucky enough to have one. We're talking about the 1976 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny. Worth a fortune. Stick around to find out just how much it's going for in the market today. Spoiler alert, it's a lot, alright, so let's set the stage. In 1976, the US Mint decided to celebrate America's 200th birthday by releasing a special edition of coins, including a brand new Lincoln penny design. If you have a 1976 penny, you might think, okay, it's just another penny, but that tiny little coin could be sitting on a goldmine if it has the D Mint mark. Now, here's the catch, not every 1976 D penny is worth a ton of money. So, what makes some of them worth up to $1.5 million? It's all about the condition, the rarity, and a bit of luck. These pennies are part of a limited run, and a few of them were struck with some serious minting errors, like double dies or misplaced numbers, that make them much rarer than your standard penny. Imagine you're digging through your change jar and you pull out a penny from 1976 with a super sharp design, no visible wear, and the famous D Mint mark. Yeah, that penny could be worth a whole lot more than the change you'd expect. In fact, a pristine one could fetch up to $1.5 million at auction, depending on how well it was kept over the years. Let me tell you about my own little penny story. I was cleaning out an old shoebox in the back of my closet last year when I found a pile of pennies from all sorts of years. Among the pile was a 1976 penny that I thought was just a regular old coin. In my excitement, I tossed it back into the box and moved on. Fast forward to last month when I'm watching a coin auction, and guess what pops up? A 1976 D penny with the exact type of minting error that could make it worth a fortune. You could say I was just a little upset with myself for not double-checking that penny. Lesson learned, folks. So, how do you know if your 1976 D penny is one of the rare ones? Well, first, check for any signs of a double die or other minting mistakes. Those errors can really drive up the price. Then, check the condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. A coin in mint condition will always fetch a premium, and if yours is shiny, sharp, and shows no signs of wear, you're sitting on something special. If you're thinking, okay, but how do I even know where to sell it if I've got one of these rare pennies? Don't worry. There are plenty of coin auction houses, online marketplaces, and even local coin dealers who would be thrilled to get their hands on a rare find like this. The key is to get it graded by a professional. Grading is super important because the difference between a coin that's graded as good and one that's graded as mint can be worth thousands, sometimes even millions. So, what's the takeaway from today? Keep an eye out for those 1976 D pennies because they could be hiding a goldmine in your change jar or shoebox. Sure, most pennies are worth 1 cent, but you might just have that lucky one that's worth much more. If you enjoyed this little adventure into the world of valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips, tricks, and stories about how you could find your own hidden treasures. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on learning about other coins worth millions, and hey, if you've got a coin story, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear if anyone out there has found a fortune in their old change. Catch you next time, and remember, don't toss those pennies too quickly. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever stumbled upon a coin and thought, is this thing worth something, or is it just another penny in the jar? Well, today we're diving into the world of the 2003 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and let me tell you, it's more than just a pocket change find. In fact, this little guy could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yep, you heard me right. A penny, worth more than a fancy car, and it could be sitting right in your collection without you even knowing it. Let's get into why this coin is so special, and maybe you'll be checking your pockets after this video. So, why is the 2003 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so valuable? To understand this, we have to back up a bit. Most pennies have a mint mark, like a little D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco, telling us where it was made. But the 2003 no-mint Mark penny, which was minted in Philadelphia, is one of those rare errors that got overlooked by many coin collectors. And now, here's where it gets interesting. In 2003, some pennies were struck without a mint mark, and this error was caught much later. What makes it rare is that it wasn't just a few random pennies that slipped through the cracks. It was an entire batch, and as time went on, people started to realize, hey, this coin isn't like the others. Coin collectors went wild, and that's when the value started to skyrocket. Imagine finding this in your loose change. You go to the vending machine, throw in a coin, and bam! You just dropped a coin worth more than most people's rent for the month. Can you picture it? You'd be sitting there, drinking your soda, and thinking, did I just make a fortune while grabbing a snack? Classic, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not every 2003 no-mint Mark penny is worth $1.6 million. A lot of factors go into its value. Condition matters. Coins in pristine condition, without any noticeable wear or damage, are the ones that fetch the big bucks. You also want to make sure that it's authenticated, because, like everything in life, there are some fakes out there trying to pull a fast one. If you think you found one, it's worth having it appraised by a professional to make sure it's the real deal. Now, I'll admit, I once thought I had found something valuable in my own collection. It was a coin I was sure was going to make me rich. I was at a flea market, and this guy was selling an old coin for what seemed like a steal. It looked rare, shiny, old, and beautiful. I took it home, did some research, and imagined my fortune. Turns out, it was just a really well-preserved common coin. Talk about a letdown. But hey, it made me appreciate the hunt even more. So, the moral of the story is, sometimes you have to dig a little deeper, or do some research, to know if your penny is going to buy you a yacht or just a latte. So, what do you think? Could you have a 2003 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny hiding somewhere? Maybe in that dusty jar of coins at the bottom of your drawer? It's time to take a closer look. Remember, not all pennies are created equal, and a little research can lead to big rewards. If you're serious about finding rare coins and learning how to spot them, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips, tricks, and strategies coming your way to help you turn your coin collection into a treasure chest. So, grab your magnifying glass and start hunting. And hey, if you ever find one of those $1 million pennies, don't forget to thank me in the thank you speech when you're rolling in the dough. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever dug through your spare change, only to find a penny that made you think, could this little guy be worth a fortune? Well, today we're talking about a coin that might just turn your dusty old pennies into a gold mine. Ever heard of the 1973 D-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny? No? Well, buckle up because this coin is worth a whopping $1.7 million right now. Yes, you heard that right, million, with an M. I know, I'm not kidding. Now, before you go running to check your jar of pennies, let's dive into the details and see what makes this little copper coin so special. Grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. First off, let's talk about the 1973 D penny itself. Most of us probably see pennies as just, well, pennies. They're not exactly the coins you think will make you rich, right? You throw them in your pocket, toss them in a jar, or maybe even just forget about them entirely. But trust me, there's a gem hidden in that pile. The 1973 D penny is special because of a combination of rarity and condition. Not every 1973 penny is worth $1 million, unfortunately. But those that are in top-notch shape, rare, but not impossible to find, are fetching insane prices at auctions and collectors' markets. Why? Because not a lot of them were made in the perfect condition, and people who are serious about coin collecting pay big bucks for that perfect gem. You might find one tucked away in your own collection, or hey, maybe you'll be the one to spot it in a bag of coins at your local bank. but what exactly makes this 1973 penny so unique? It's all about the condition. When people say this penny is worth $1.7 million, they're talking about those that have been kept in pristine, near perfect condition. It's kind of like finding a vintage baseball card in mint condition. You might have the same card, but the one in perfect shape is worth a lot more. Same with coins. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't always into coin collecting. In fact, I used to just toss pennies into my loose change drawer like everyone else. But then I had a friend, who's now a pro in the coin world, show me how looking for rare coins could actually make you money. So, I started taking a closer look at my pennies. One day, I found an old, tarnished 1973 penny mixed in with my coins. At first, I thought it was just a regular penny. But then I remembered what my friend told me about checking for rare coins, and it was then that I learned about the insane value of well-preserved ones. Yeah, I'm still kicking myself for not paying attention sooner. I could have been rolling in the dough. But hey, that's a lesson for the future, right? The cool thing about this penny is that even though it's worth a ton of cash today, it wasn't even supposed to be that rare in the first place. The 1973 penny was produced by the millions, just like most pennies. But as time went on, fewer of them survived in perfect condition. So, when collectors started snapping them up, prices started soaring. It's a little like finding the last unicorn in a herd of horses, pretty special when you come across one. So, what's the takeaway here? Well, if you've got a 1973 penny, take a closer look. It might not look like much at first, but if it's in great condition, it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Whether you're into coin collecting as a hobby or looking for a way to make some extra cash, coins like the 1973 penny are the perfect example of how the right find can change everything. And hey, if you found this video interesting, or if you want more tips on how to find coins that are worth more than their face value, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I'll be dropping more videos with tips on valuable coins, insider strategies, and maybe a few stories about my own coin collecting misadventures. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So go ahead, give that subscribe button a tap. You could be one click away from discovering a small fortune in your pocket. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. You might want to sit down for this one because we're talking about a penny. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth a whopping $1.8 million. And no, it's not some shiny limited edition novelty coin, it's the 2060 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because this coin could change how you think about pennies forever. And now, let me set the scene for you. Picture this, you're walking around your house, right? Maybe you're doing laundry or cleaning out the junk drawer. You come across a pile of loose change, mostly pennies, nickels, and dimes, and you toss them into a jar. We've all been there. It's easy to overlook pennies, right? They're small, they're brown, and let's be real, they're not exactly the most exciting coins in your collection. But imagine if, just by chance, you had a 2060 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny mixed in with all that other spare change. You could have a hidden treasure worth over $1 million. So why is this penny worth so much? It all comes down to a rare mistake. Yep, even the US Mint isn't perfect. Back in 2006, they made a batch of pennies that had some unique characteristics. It's not just the 2006 pennies in general, though. This specific D-Mint mark, the Denver Mint, made a few errors with the die, causing some of these pennies to be far more valuable than your average Lincoln. And we're talking a lot more valuable. We're talking about $1.8 million, folks. Now, let's talk about what makes it stand out from the rest of the 2006 pennies. You see, the 2006 penny isn't typically valuable by itself. In fact, it's a pretty standard coin in the grand scheme of things. But the 2006 D-Mint Mark penny has a specific feature or flaw, depending on how you look at it, that makes it highly sought after by collectors, a minor, yet rare, misstriking in the die. This makes the coin highly collectible and drastically increases its value. Let's get nerdy for a second. The flaw is typically related to the way the coin was struck by the die. Some of these pennies came out with uneven features, double strikes, or a misalignment in the imprint. Those little imperfections, my friends, make this coin a true gem. It's not every day that you come across a penny that could potentially make you a millionaire, right? Now, here's where it gets funny. I remember the first time I found a rare coin in my pocket change. I thought I had stumbled upon gold when I found a 1940s dime. It wasn't worth much, but I was convinced I was going to be the next millionaire. I went online, did my research, and found out that my treasure was worth a solid 50 cents if I was lucky. Big disappointment. But hey, you live and learn, right? This is why it's so important to do your research and check for those rare coins that could be lurking in your change jar, just like this 2006 D Lincoln penny. And I'm here to tell you, not every penny in your jar is going to make you a millionaire, but this particular coin could be worth way more than you think. Alright, so here's the deal. If you have a 2006 D Lincoln penny lying around, it's time to take a closer look at it. Check for those rare features, those minting flaws, and if you find one in mint condition with that special error, you could be looking at a serious payday. Imagine turning your spare change into an actual fortune. If you liked this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins that could be hiding in plain sight, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on these tips and tricks. There's more where this came from, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next treasure hunt. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, happy hunting, and don't forget to check your pocket change. You never know what you'll find. We're diving into the wild world of the 2009 1C Lincoln Formative Years DDR FS803 penny, a humble 1-cent coin with a jaw-dropping market value of $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. Buckle up, because this story is about as thrilling as Indiana Jones finding a golden treasure, only smaller and made of copper. But first, let me set the scene. Imagine this: you're cleaning out your junk drawer, trying to find a pen that actually works, and there it is, a shiny little penny. You toss it aside, thinking, what's a penny good for these days? Well, my friend, if it's this 2009 Lincoln penny, it's good for a whole lot. Let's talk about why and how. The 2009 Lincoln penny isn't just any old coin. It was minted to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's bicentennial birthday and his formative years. Pretty cool, right? The coin shows young Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book. But here's the kicker: this particular penny has a rare double die reverse, or DDR. That means during the minting process, the die used to stamp the coin shifted slightly, creating a doubling effect on certain details. Collectors go nuts for these errors, and this one is no exception. So, what's the deal with the FS803 designation? That's coin nerd speak for a specific kind of doubling found on Lincoln's hands and the book he's holding. If you've got sharp eyes or a magnifying glass, you might just spot the doubling. And if you do, congratulations, you're holding a ticket to financial freedom. Well, maybe not freedom, but at least a seriously cool story and a hefty payout. Now, I know what you're thinking: how do I know if I have this $1 million penny? Great question. Here are 3 quick tips. It's got to be 2009. Examine Lincoln's hands and the book for doubling. Coins in red condition, meaning they still have their original coppery shine, are the ones that fetch the big bucks. I actually have a funny story about this. A while back, I got into coin collecting because I heard a rumor about a 2009 penny being worth a fortune. I spent hours digging through my coin jar, checking every single penny like a detective on a mission. Turns out, I didn't find the FS803, but I did find a Canadian penny. So, not exactly $1.8 million, but hey, it was still international currency. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2009 Lincoln Formative Years DDR FS803 penny. Who knew a little copper coin could hold so much value, history, and excitement? If this doesn't make you want to check every penny you come across, I don't know what will. Now, before you go raid your piggy bank, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a tip on coins that could make you rich. Who knows? Your next grocery store penny could be your ticket to a life-changing discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting! Welcome, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious minds. Imagine this: you're digging through an old jar of pennies, maybe one you've had since childhood, and suddenly, something catches your eye. It's a penny, but not just any penny. You flip it over, see the D mint mark, and think, could this be the jackpot? Well, if it's a 1992 D mint mark Lincoln penny, you might want to sit down, because that little coin could be worth a staggering $1.1 million. Yes, folks, a penny that's worth more than $1 million. Let's dive into the fascinating world of this elusive coin and why it's worth so much. Now, you're probably wondering, what's so special about a penny minted in Denver in 1992? Here's the scoop: this isn't just any regular penny. It's what collectors call the 1992 D close AM Lincoln penny. And the key word here is close AM. Let's break it down. On the reverse side of the coin, where it says America, the A and the M are, you guessed it, close together. Most pennies from 1992 have a noticeable gap between the A and the M. But on this rare gem, the two letters are practically hugging. Why? A simple minting error. And as any coin collector will tell you, mistakes are worth big money. Here's the kicker: there are only a handful of these close AM pennies known to exist. We're talking single digits, folks. The rarity, combined with the demand from collectors, is what drives up the value. Imagine trying to find a needle in a haystack. Now multiply that by $1 million. The last one that sold at auction went for over $1.1 million, and that was in pristine condition, graded MS67. If you've got one of these pennies lying around, even in slightly worn condition, you could still be looking at tens of thousands of dollars. And now, I know what you're thinking: do I have one of these pennies? Here's how to check. Grab a magnifying glass, or, if you're like me and couldn't find one, just squint really hard to look at the back of the penny. Focus on the word America. Are the A and M super close together? Flip the penny over. Do you see a little D mint mark under the date? If you're seeing both the close AM and the D mint mark, congratulations! You might have just hit the coin collector's jackpot. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I decided to clean out an old piggy bank from when I was a kid. You know, the kind where you'd stash every coin you could find, including those that fell between couch cushions. Anyway, I'm sorting through this pile of pennies, and I find one from 1992. My heart races. Could it be the elusive close AM? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But I did find a 1983 penny that turned out to be worth about $25. Not bad for something I almost threw into a Coinstar machine. Moral of the story? Always check your coins before you cash them, and if you're new to coin collecting, here are a few tips to get started. Your eyes will thank you. You'd be amazed at what people overlook. Coins like the 1992 D close AM are rare, but there are plenty of others out there worth big bucks. The coin collector community is full of friendly folks who are more than happy to share their expertise. So, there you have it, folks. The 1992 D close AM Lincoln penny, proof that even the tiniest treasures can be worth a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the loose change in your pocket, there's always something fascinating to discover in the world of coins. Before you go, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Why? Because next time, we're diving into another coin worth big bucks. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. And hey, while you're at it, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or even just a weird one. Let's share some stories. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and accidental treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, maybe looking for a quarter to feed the parking meter, and bam! There it is, a humble penny that could be worth $1.2 million. Yep, I'm talking about the 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Today, we're diving into why this little copper beauty is turning heads in the coin collecting world, and how you just might have one sitting in a jar on your kitchen counter. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Now, let's get one thing straight: not all 1965 pennies are worth a fortune. If that were the case, we'd all be millionaires by now, right? The magic lies in the details. So, let's break it down. In 1965, the US Mint was trying to save money by eliminating mint marks altogether. That's why you won't find a little D or S on pennies from that year. They were all minted without a mint mark. But here's the kicker: some of these pennies were struck with rare errors or unique features, making them incredibly valuable to collectors. So for example, a rare 1965 penny might have a doubled die, where the design appears slightly doubled. Or maybe it's been struck on the wrong planchet, like a dime planchet, which is a smaller, thinner coin. These errors make the penny one of a kind, and coin collectors are willing to shell out big bucks for them. So, why $1.2 million? Well, the coin market is like any other market: supply and demand reign supreme. A rare error coin in pristine condition can fetch astronomical prices at auction. In fact, the most famous 1965 no mint mark penny was sold for exactly $1.2 million because it was practically untouched, graded at MS67. That's near perfection in coin terms. Let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic, one of those tasks you think will take an hour but ends up being an all-day adventure. She had this old coffee can full of pennies, probably collected over decades. While sifting through them, I spotted a shiny 1965 penny. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? Was I about to cash in on $1 million jackpot? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it was a fun little moment of hope. And honestly, that's the joy of coin collecting. It's like a treasure hunt, and you never know what you'll find. Look for doubling on the letters or unusual features in the design. Coins in mint condition are worth significantly more. Use a magnifying glass to check for scratches or wear. If you think you found something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Compare your coin to images and descriptions online to see if it matches the rare examples. Alright, now you know why the 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is such a big deal and why it could be hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who wants to turn pocket change into a fortune, keep your eyes peeled. Who knows? Your next grocery run might make you a millionaire. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and join our community of treasure hunters. We've got tons of tips and stories about coins that are worth serious money, and I promise, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Oh, and don't forget to smash that like button. It's like tipping your YouTube bartender. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Picture this: you're digging through your spare change for a morning coffee, and bam! You stumble upon a penny that could buy you a mansion. Sounds wild, right? Well, stick around because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1998 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a little coin with a jaw-dropping value of $1.3 million. Yep, you heard that right. A penny worth more than a sports car, a luxury vacation, or even a college tuition, well, depending on the college. Let's talk about why this seemingly ordinary penny has collectors losing their minds. If you're new to coin collecting, let me break it down. Most pennies minted in the US have a tiny letter stamped on them indicating where they were made: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. But this 1998 penny? Nada. Zilch. No mint mark. Now, this isn't a mistake, it's intentional. Some coins from Philadelphia lack the P mint mark. What makes this 1998 penny special is its condition, rarity, and a few quirks in its design that collectors go bananas over. Experts believe that only a handful of these pennies were struck with an ultra-precise die, giving them a nearly flawless appearance. Combine that with their rarity, and boom, you've got a penny that's more valuable than a yacht. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my car, the annual event where you finally throw out the receipts, gum wrappers, and that one rogue French fry living under the seat. Anyway, I found a penny stuck to the cup holder. It was grimy, sticky, and honestly, kind of gross. But something told me to take a closer look. And now, I'm no expert, but I googled it, cleaned it off, very carefully, and got curious. Long story short, it wasn't worth $1.3 million, but it was worth $20. Not bad for a penny, right? Imagine if I had stumbled upon the 1998 no-mint mark penny. Moral of the story? Always check your change, treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Back to the star of the show. The 1998 no-mint mark penny is so valuable for three main reasons. Only a few are in perfect uncirculated condition. Coin collectors love a good mystery, and this penny delivers. It's a snapshot of a moment in US minting history, and let's talk about that $1.3 million price tag. It's not just about the coin, it's about the story, the prestige, and the bragging rights. Imagine showing off your $1 million penny at parties. Instant conversation starter. Now, you might be wondering, could I have one of these? The answer is, maybe. Here's what to do: it has to say 1998. If there's no little letter under the date, you're on the right track. It should be shiny, clean, and free of major scratches. Professional grading might be necessary. If you think you found one, don't sell it at face value. Take it to a trusted coin dealer or have it graded by a professional. So, there you have it, the 1998 no-mint mark penny that could make you a millionaire. Who knew pocket change could hold so much potential? If you're feeling inspired, why not go through your coin jar tonight? You never know what you might find, and hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell for more money-making coin tips. We're diving into the coolest, craziest, and most valuable coins out there, so you won't want to miss it. Share this video with a friend, maybe you'll inspire them to check their spare change too. Hi there, friends. Let me ask you this, have you ever checked the loose change in your pocket or that random jar of coins you've been meaning to cash in at the bank? What if I told you one of those pennies could be worth $1.40 million? That's right, a single, humble 1985 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny might just be your golden ticket. Now, before you start rating your couch cushions, stick around because today we're diving into the story of this penny, why it's worth so much, and how you can figure out if you've got one. Oh, and I'll share a little story about how I almost threw away what could have been my jackpot coin. Spoiler, it's embarrassing. Let's start with the basics. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, where this penny was produced. The 1985 Lincoln penny isn't rare in and of itself, billions were minted. So, why is this particular penny worth a cool $1.40 million? It all comes down to a rare error. Coin collectors go wild for mistakes, doubled dies, misaligned strikes, or even coins stamped on the wrong metal. In the case of this penny, it's a perfect storm of rarity and demand. A small batch of these pennies was struck with a doubled die, creating subtle but noticeable imperfections. Imagine Abe Lincoln looking like he's had one too many cups of coffee, with his features slightly blurred or doubled. That's what makes this coin stand out. The value comes down to rarity and condition. A coin like this in pristine, uncirculated condition could fetch the jaw-dropping $1.4 million price tag. That's because collectors are willing to pay big bucks for coins that tell a story and look good doing it. To put it in perspective, that's the kind of money you'd use to buy a mansion or a lot of pizza. Imagine trading a penny for all that. Here's the million-dollar question, how do you know if you've got one? First, check the date, 1985, and look for the D below the year. Then, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature and check for any oddities on the coin. Blurry text? Weird doubling on Abe's face? That could be your jackpot. Now, here's the kicker, even if it's not a perfect match, it's always worth holding on to unusual coins. You never know when a new discovery might change the game. Let me share a personal story to drive this home. A few years ago, I found a weird-looking penny in my car's cup holder. It looked like it had been through a war, scratches, discoloration, the works. I thought, what's the harm in keeping it? Fast forward to me decluttering and tossing it into a Coinstar machine. A week later, I saw a news article about a rare penny with an error that matched the one I threw away. Was it the 1985 D? I'll never know, but the regret is real. Moral of the story? Keep your odd coins, you might be throwing away a fortune, so, the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up, take a good look, and maybe even do a little research. That tiny coin could change your life, and if you found today's video helpful or at least entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I share tips, stories, and strategies for spotting coins worth big money. Let's make the journey to coin collecting gold together. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. What if I told you that a single penny, one you could have passed up in your pocket change, could be worth $1.50 million today? Yeah, you heard that right, a penny. And no, this isn't a scene from a Hollywood movie where someone strikes it rich by mistake. This is real life, and we're diving deep into the story of the 2006 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another get-rich-quick scheme, let me assure you, this is all about coins, cash, and a little bit of curiosity. So, grab your jar of loose change and stick around because you might just find a life-changing treasure in there. Okay, so let's break this down. Most pennies have a little letter under the year. That's the mint mark, it tells you where the coin was made, like Denver, D, or Philadelphia, P. But the no mint mark 2006 penny? It's a different breed. Here's the kicker, the no mint mark isn't a mistake, it's from Philadelphia. But for this particular penny, there's something unusual about the way it was struck. Experts believe a rare minting error created a unique finish and design detail that makes it one in a million, literally. Collectors go wild for these anomalies, and that's how this little penny skyrocketed to $1.5 million in value. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. You know the one, that black hole of forgotten keys, expired coupons, and random coins? Well, I found a 2006 penny in there. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the penny? I grabbed my magnifying glass like Sherlock Holmes and went all in. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the jackpot penny. But hey, for a few minutes, I was a millionaire in my own head. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a junk drawer or pocket change. Now, here's where it gets fun. To find this valuable penny, you'll need a few tools and a lot of patience. First, get a magnifying glass. Seriously, it's your new best friend. Next, check for these key details: the sharp, clean design on Abraham Lincoln's face. An unusually glossy or proof-like finish. No mint mark under the date. If you find one that fits the bill, it's time to call a professional coin appraiser. And no, don't just show it to your cousin who watches YouTube tutorials. You need the real deal. You're probably thinking, okay, it's rare, but $1.5 million? The value comes from a combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. There are fewer than a handful of these pennies known to exist, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar, top million, to own one. Imagine owning a tiny piece of history that sends your bank account straight into the stratosphere. That's the allure of this penny. It's like winning the lottery, except you don't even have to buy a ticket at first. Check your pockets, coin jars, couch cushions, anywhere a stray penny might hide. And don't just skim. This isn't a game of hide and seek. Take your time. Once you're done, spread the word. Who knows? Maybe your friends or family have one lying around. So, what's the takeaway here? A little penny could change your life. That 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny might be the ticket to your dream house, a new car, or an epic vacation. But more importantly, it's a reminder that value can hide in the most unexpected places. Before you go diving into your coin stash, here's my challenge: hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and join our growing community of treasure hunters. Every week, I share tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover hidden gems, literally and figuratively. Who knows? Your next penny could be worth $1 million. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're rummaging through an old jar of pennies, probably looking for laundry money, and boom, you stumble upon one worth $1.6 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. Today, we're talking about the 1969 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a humble coin that could make you a millionaire. Yep, you heard that right, a single penny. Stick around because I'll share how to spot this coin, why it's so valuable, and a funny story about how I almost gave away a rare coin without realizing it. Spoiler alert, I still regret it. First things first, let's break this down. The 1969 D. Lincoln penny gets its value from a combination of rarity, condition, and history. The D-Mint mark means it was minted in Denver, and these coins were part of a specific batch with unique characteristics. What makes this particular penny worth $1.6 million isn't just that it's old, it's all about the double die error. That's right, folks. This coin has a printing mistake that collectors go absolutely wild for. The double die error happens when the design on the coin is accidentally struck twice, creating a slightly blurry or doubled appearance. On the 1969 D penny, you'll notice this on the date and the Liberty lettering. It's like a coin with built-in 3D glasses. Pretty cool, huh? Now, you don't need a microscope or a PhD in numismatics to spot this bad boy. Grab a magnifying glass and check for these key features. Look for the D right below the date. The date and the word Liberty should have that telltale doubling. Coins in mint or near mint condition fetch the big bucks. If yours looks like it's been through a war, it might still be worth something, but don't expect millions. A quick tip: don't go scrubbing the coin with soap and water thinking you're cleaning it up. That'll actually decrease its value faster than a popsicle melting in the sun. Okay, so here's a little confession. A few years ago, I was sorting through my late grandpa's coin collection. Most of it was regular pocket change, but one penny caught my eye. It had a strange doubling effect on the date. I thought, cool, maybe it's worth a couple of bucks. But instead of checking, I tossed it into a jar. Fast forward 6 months, I'm watching a YouTube video about rare pennies, and I see my coin on the screen. My jaw dropped. I ran to the jar, but guess what? It was gone. My cousin had taken the jar to use for his vending machine business. To this day, I wonder if I accidentally gave away $1 million penny for a bag of chips. Lesson learned: always check your coins before giving them away. Beyond the double die error, collectors love this penny because it tells a story. It's a piece of history, a tiny mistake that became a massive treasure. Plus, it's a great conversation starter. Imagine whipping this out at a party. Oh, this? Just my $1.6 million penny. Instant cool points.so. There you have it, folks, the 1969 D. Lincoln penny. A little coin with a big story and an even bigger price tag. If you've got jars of pennies lying around, now's the time to start digging. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. And hey, if you found this video helpful or just mildly entertaining, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and everyday folks looking to turn pocket change into life-changing money. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? I'd love to hear your stories. You know that jar of pennies sitting in your kitchen? The one you've ignored for years? What if I told you there's a chance, a tiny, glorious chance, that one of those pennies could be worth $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right, million. That's not a typo, and it's definitely not Monopoly money. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1972 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a humble little coin with an extraordinary story. But before we get into it, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away $500. Spoiler alert, it was a coin. I'll share that story later, stick around. Alright, let's get nerdy for a minute. Coins minted in 1972 came out of Philadelphia, which is why they don't have a mint mark. That part isn't unusual. What is unusual is a little something called a double die. No, it's not a game of Yahtzee. It's an error that happens during the minting process when the coin gets stamped twice but slightly off-center. The result? The text on the coin looks like it's wearing 3D glasses without the 3D dot. You'll see this doubling effect on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1972. If you spot it, congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. Now, before you run to your change jar, let me level with you, this coin isn't growing on trees. Out of the millions of pennies minted that year, only a few thousand have this error. It's like finding a golden ticket in a chocolate bar, but instead of a tour of Willy Wonka's factory, you get a check with a lot of zeros. Here's where it gets crazy. Depending on the condition, a 1972 no-mint mark penny with a double die can be worth anywhere from a couple $100 to, drumroll please, $1.8 million. That's life-changing money for something you could find under your couch cushions. And now, let's be honest, most of these coins won't fetch the full $1.8 million. That price tag is for coins in pristine, museum-worthy condition. Think shiny, flawless, like it just came out of a time machine. Look under the year 1972. If there's no little D or S, you're on the right track. Check the letters and numbers. If they look like they had a wild night out and can't stand still, you might have something special. The shinier, the better. If it looks like it's been chewed on by a raccoon, it's probably not worth much. Now, let me tell you about my own coin debacle. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer and found this old coin. It looked kind of interesting, but I thought, meh, it's probably just a regular penny. I was this close to tossing it. But something told me to Google it first. Turns out, it was worth $500. Not $1.8 million, sure, but enough to cover a weekend getaway. Lesson learned: always check your change. Here's the thing, coins like this aren't just about money. They're about history, art, and a little sprinkle of luck. Plus, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? It's like playing the lottery, but you don't have to buy a ticket. Alright, now it's your turn. Got a jar of pennies lying around? Go grab it. Seriously, pause this video if you have to. Start sifting through those coins and keep an eye out for the 1972 no-mint mark penny with that double die magic. Who knows? You might just hit the jackpot. And hey, if you found this video helpful or even mildly entertaining, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn your spare change into serious cash. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.so. What are you waiting for? Go check those pennies. And let me know in the comments if you find anything cool. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious minds. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, is this tiny copper coin secretly my ticket to becoming a millionaire? Well, let me tell you, you might not be too far off. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's got collectors flipping out, literally. Why? Because this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million in today's market. Stick around, because I'm not only going to tell you why this penny is so valuable, but I'm also sharing tips on how to spot one and a funny story about how I almost tossed a potentially valuable coin into a vending machine. Yeah, it's a wild ride, so buckle up. Let's start with the basics. In 1991, the US Mint produced billions of pennies, and most of them were stamped with a little mint mark indicating where they were made: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But every now and then, a coin sneaks out without that tiny letter. These are what we call no-mint mark coins, and now, you might think, big deal. It's just missing a tiny letter. But here's the kicker: coins without mint marks are often the result of errors or unique circumstances, and collectors love errors. The rarer, the better. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is incredibly rare. Experts believe only a handful exist, making it a collector's dream. Combine that rarity with the condition of the coin, and you've got the perfect storm for $1 million value. Now, let's talk dollars, 1.1 million of them, to be exact. What makes a tiny penny command such a massive price tag? It's all about the holy trinity of coin collecting: rarity, condition, and demand. As I mentioned, the no-mint mark version is incredibly scarce. A coin in pristine condition, graded by professionals, can significantly boost its value. Look for pennies with sharp details, no scratches, and that shiny fresh out of the mint vibe. Coin collectors and enthusiasts are always on the hunt for unique pieces to complete their collections, and the 1991 no-mint mark penny is basically the unicorn of Lincoln pennies. Here's the fun part: how can you tell if you've got one of these rare pennies? First, grab your loose change, or that jar you've been ignoring on your dresser. Look for a 1991 Lincoln penny. If it's missing the little mint mark under the date, you might be in luck, but don't celebrate just yet. The coin needs to be authenticated by a professional grading service to determine its value. And remember, condition matters. A beat-up penny won't fetch the same price as one in mint condition. Speaking of finding treasures in your pocket change, let me share a personal story. A couple of years ago, I was digging through my car's cup holder, hunting for quarters to buy a soda. I found a penny that looked a bit different. But I was in a rush, so I tossed it into the vending machine along with the quarters. Later that week, I stumbled upon an article about valuable pennies and thought, wait a minute, was that penny special? I'll never know. But hey, lesson learned: always check your coins before using them to buy snacks. If you're just starting out in the world of coin collecting, here are a few quick tips. Learn about valuable coins and what makes them unique. You'd be amazed at what you can find just lying around. A magnifying glass and coin book can be your best friends. Connect with other collectors online or at local coin shows. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that proves sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest value. Who knows? Your next trip to the store might leave you holding $1 million treasure. If you found this video helpful or just entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I post videos every week about coins worth serious cash, how to spot them, and the fascinating stories behind them. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin or have a funny coin story, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Old Coins Prices, where we dive into the fascinating, and sometimes crazy, world of coins worth a ton of cash. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this little guy is basically worthless? Well, think again. Because today, we're talking about a 2009 Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $1.8 million. Yep, you heard me, million, not cents. Imagine finding one in your pocket change. Hello, early retirement. Stick around because we're going to break down what makes this penny so special, how you can spot one, and why it's worth more than my car, and probably yours too. Alright, let's jump into it. First, let's talk about the 2009 Lincoln penny itself. This coin isn't your average penny. It was created to celebrate the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, and the US Mint went all out with not one, not two, but 4 unique designs on the reverse side. Talk about a glow-up for Honest Abe. It shows a little log cabin, which is giving major Little House on the Prairie vibes. Lincoln's teenage years, where he's reading a book while holding a rail splitter. A multitasking king. Depicts Abe standing in front of the Illinois State Capitol, looking sharp and professional. Shows the U.S. Capitol dome under construction, a symbol of his monumental work. Now, what makes some of these pennies worth jaw-dropping amounts? It all comes down to rarity and errors. The most valuable ones are from the Denver Mint. Look for a small D under the ear, and have a rare double die error. Basically, the design was struck twice, creating a ghost-like effect. It's subtle, but collectors are ready to throw wads of cash at it. Quick story: a few months ago, I was sorting through a jar of change because, let's be real, who doesn't have one of those? I came across a 2009 penny and got super excited, thinking, this is it. I'm rich. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the rare one. But it made me realize how much fun it is to hunt for these little treasures, and how even common coins can spark joy. Or, in this case, temporary heartbreak. So, here's the deal: if you have any 2009 pennies, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom. Check for that D mint mark and look closely at Lincoln's features for doubling. Also, condition matters. A shiny, uncirculated penny will fetch way more than one that's been through a few vending machines, and now, if you find one of these rare pennies, it could sell at auction for up to $1.8 million. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a penny. Start checking your change, dive into those coin jars, and maybe even raid your couch cushions. Who knows? You might stumble upon a piece of history that could make you rich. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe to your channel name, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more tips on coins that could make you money. And hey, if you've got a cool coin story or think you might have a valuable penny, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it.